Happy New Year and welcome back to the Canadian Ruck. This is Jamie. It's 2021, and just want to say thanks to all the listeners out there for following us along our journey. I guess we're into season 2 now. We started back in February, and we got a special pod today. We've got the boys from Wheelchair Rugby Canada back. We've got Eric Rodriguez, Mike Whitehead, and Patrice Desjardins, and they're actually going to break down a bit of a game. We're going to watch the first quarter and the fourth quarter of their qualifying match for the Paralympics against Colombia. We're not gonna wreck the score. We're not gonna do anything like that. But if you have a chance, put this up on YouTube and watch some of the game because it is amazing. We also welcome Kayla Blackmore today. Kayla is one of my coworkers at Ross Netherwood. She coaches the women's prep hockey team. She's also an athletics director. She's coached and coaches Team Atlantic Hockey, Team New Brunswick Hockey, and she talks to us about her passion for athletics, multi-sport athletes, along with motion ball sport and women in sports. So it's going to be a very, very exciting podcast. Before we get to all that, quick plug here. And most of you know we're on a lot of social media. We're on the Twitter at Canadian Ruck. We're on the Instagram at _Canadian_Ruck. We're on Facebook at the Canadian Ruck. And if you need to email me, it's thecanadianruck@gmail.com. So we're all over the place if you need to get in touch or if you want to leave some feedback, which is always, always appreciated. As most of you know, watch and listen on a variety of platforms. Naturally, YouTube, because I'm hoping you're watching on YouTube so you can watch the game. We're listening for our listening viewers at Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, and Castbox. Follow, subscribe, share. Follow, subscribe, share. That's what I'm asking for. And if you need that last place to look, if you want to try and find some things, if you're looking for some swag, our website is thecanadianruck.weebly.com. It's got all of your Canadian Ruck requirements and needs right there. Before we get to Kayla, I just want to 2020, yeah, crappy all the way around for most people, me included. Lost 6 close friends and relatives throughout 2020, throw coronavirus on top of that, and it's just a pile of crap all the way around. But I'm hoping listeners, myself included, can look back at 2020 and find some resilience or find something that was positive that you can take and move forward. And for me, it's looking forward to rugby again. It's looking forward to better quality family time, understanding how your jobs are always hard, but you throw in the mask, you throw in quarantine, and maybe it gives you a little bit of resilience as to coming out of there. But hopefully everybody takes a chance and reflects a little bit and finds some solace in 2020 and find something positive moving forward, because that's what I'm going to do, and that's what I'm hoping most people do. So up now, though, as I said, we have Kayla. Kayla and I chatted this morning. Always fun chatting sports with Kayla, athletics with Kayla. Very knowledgeable, very passionate about her craft. And we're going to kick back. We're going to listen to Kayla, and then we're going to jump into the wheelchair pod. So here's Kayla, and enjoy. All right, and the Canadian Ruck welcomes Kayla Blackmore. Kayla is the athletics director at Ross Netherwood School. She also is the head coach of the girls' prep team. And she's also used to be the captain of St. Thomas University Hockey. And Kayla does a lot for the community at her school and a lot for New Brunswick in the sporting world. And Kayla, we're very happy to have you on with us this morning.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, so let's jump right in here. So you do a lot of things. You do this thing, it's motion ball, which is really interesting. Can you talk to us about that initiative and what that does for the community and what it does for people of all sporting abilities?
Yeah, for sure. Motion Ball is an event put on by Special Olympics Canada, and it's really about bringing the community together and really understanding what it means to be a Special Olympics athlete and how we can support them. And so we've hosted that for 2 years at Ross Netherwood School, and it's been an incredible experience. And my main goal initially was to really bring something to our school that had never been brought before and expose our students and our staff to something that we don't necessarily get exposed to every day in our community. And that was people who are differently abled. And that was something that was really exciting for us. And to have our students and our staff interacting with Special Olympics athletes, playing games with them, playing sports with them, just again, bringing it back down to sports are there for us to gather as a community. They're there for us to celebrate together, to work together. And it doesn't matter, how able you are or how you move or how you play a sport. It's really just about being together and competing together. So that event has truly it's been amazing. It's fun to sit back as an organizer and kind of watch that event unfold. But we're looking forward to continuing to be a partner with Motion Ball moving forward. And myself personally, as an event director moving forward, I'm really excited to be a part of that organization. And it's certainly something that just brings about the spirit of sport. And I think Special Olympics athletes are remarkable in everything that they do, and the support that they receive from the entire country is truly amazing. So for us to be a part of that as a school is wonderful.
It's really cool, but it's not just about playing the games. There's money involved, right? You guys raise awareness, you raise money. So how does that happen? Where does that money go to?
Yeah, the funding is a huge piece of Motion Ball, and for us as a school, it was a little bit of the difficult part because our students aren't necessarily the best at fundraising because they aren't as able to. Excuse me, but it was certainly exciting, and all of that money goes to supporting Special Olympics athletes. So it takes them to their games, it takes them to their training, enables them to participate in different events. So the fundraising aspect of it is really the most important part of Motion Ball, and that's why oftentimes around the month of October, especially in the St. John area, you'll see tons of posts on social media and posts around different media networks, just trying to raise as much money as possible. And we had an incredible fundraising year. Our first year raised over $75,000, which was incredible for our first time event in St. John. But at the same time, last year was a shift, and so we moved virtually this year, and I think the fundraising side of it really took a hit. So we're really excited next year to jump back into it and try to raise some more money and be able to support those athletes again.
Yeah, it's really cool. And $75,000 in the first year, that's amazing. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And it's really fun. Like we watched, you've been spearheaded bringing in sledges to play sledge hockey with, and there's always lots of different little things that you're doing on campus so that everybody understands different roles and different needs and different abilities. It's great. Let's look a little bit, I guess, multi-sport. You're a very huge proponent of the multi-sport athlete. So when I talk on my podcast, I ask this question a lot because we have lots of rugby players that grew up playing hockey or soccer, and some that played basketball and rugby in university or hockey and rugby in university, which is really, I don't know how they could do it. But when I think of a multi-sport athlete, my mind actually goes to, I don't consider you a multi-sport athlete. I think it's just you're an athlete if you play more than one sport. If you just play hockey or you just play rugby, you just play basketball, then you're a basketball player, you're a hockey player. To me, athletics or a multi-sport athlete is somebody that does a wide variety of things. In my mind, you're very passionate about that. Like your prep girls, you've got some really talented hockey players. A lot of them go down and play stateside hockey at NCAA. But you always push them like, go play rugby, go row, go do this. Why is that such an important thing for you?
Yeah, I think it's probably for many reasons. I think first and foremost, it's really good for them to be surrounded by other like-minded individuals. So to be around other athletes and learn from them, experience a different environment. I think when you get comfortable in a specific environment, similar to our hockey team, they get comfortable there. They listen to me coach for 2, 3, some 5 years. So they get comfortable in that environment, and it's really good for them as an athlete to experience something different, to experience new coaching, experience new leadership, to learn a new skill. I think for them, always constantly challenging themselves to be in an uncomfortable situation is what's going to help them grow, not only as athletes, but as people. And so for me, that's a huge piece, is just to experience something new. To not be the best at something is also really important for them. I think from a lot of our students who are here, a lot of our athletes who are here, they've consistently been one of the top players on all of their teams. So for them to try a new sport and maybe not be as good right away, I think is a really good experience for them. And they learn how to battle through that. They learn how to be a supportive teammate when usually they're counted on to be on the court or on the floor or on the ice in specific minutes. They then have to support a teammate who's going to be in a similar role. So there's all kinds of intangible factors certainly that are there. At the same time, I think athlete development shows that the more diverse you can be and the more you can train in a wide variety of ways is going to make you a better athlete in your sport. And I think there's a lot of research that shows that. If you look at hockey players who play soccer, lacrosse, basketball, track growing up, they're better hockey players. So I think, from a selfish perspective as well, they're going to come back better hockey players. They're going to be fit in different ways. They're going to learn to train in different ways. And it's going to be something where, they've had this great experience. They're refreshed to come back to their sport. They're not consistently grinding on the ice or in the gym. They have a fresh perspective, and ultimately it's going to make them a better athlete. And I think long term for me, sport is just a gateway to life, and they're going to be better people. They're going to be more well-rounded, and they're going to be better contributors to society. So at the end of the day, I think it's a benefit to everyone.
And less overuse injuries, less burnout.
Hmm.
And you never want to tell a kid like you're never going to go pro, but the odds are stacked against a lot of people astronomically if they're just focused on one thing their entire life.
Hmm.
I think at our school anyway, and I think in life, like people are demand of you, Kayla, in particular, like you wear a ton of different hats. If you just focused on coaching hockey, our school would be missing so much from you, right? And I think sometimes if we can explain to kids like you're missing so much of life just by focusing on one thing, you need it's difficult to do sometimes though.
Yeah, and I think the other side of that too is the risk of if they don't make it, what do they have, and how do they feel if they don't make it, and that disappointment, the shame, the grief that they might feel having put all of their eggs, so to say, in one basket, and then it doesn't turn out, can be pretty disappointing for a young person in particular, and for anybody, I think, whenever that disappointment sets in. But at the end of the day, you have to retire at some point. You have to hang up your cleats or your skates at some point in time. So absolutely, I think if you've kind of dabbled in different areas, you're more likely to find something that you can be passionate for life. And whether that's you get into coaching, or you get into training, or you get into some sort of way to be active and fit for life, or a fan for life, then I think that's equally as important as well. So yeah, you're
Yeah.
absolutely right.
And you look at somebody like you or me who had to hang up our cleats and skates quite early in our because of injuries. So it can happen to anybody. All right, Kayla, last thing here, and this is, I think, something that's important to you for sure. It's important to a lot of people, and me included. But the women's role in the coaching landscape is starting to shift. I know that you fought some battles early in your career, but do you see a difference now? Is that women's role as a head coach, as a director? You've coached Team Atlantics, Team New Brunswick, things like that. How are those? I guess how is it better now than it was when you started? There's still ways to go. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I think it's certainly better than where it was. I remember growing up, and all of the national team and professional sports at the time were all male coaches, and I was certainly really fortunate. I had incredible male coaches growing up that didn't treat me any differently, and encouraged me, and certainly didn't feel limited by anything that they said. And I had an incredible opportunity growing up in the world of sports, and was given every opportunity. But I think one thing that I've learned through my experience of being given the opportunity to coach some of those teams, whether it's Team Atlantic or Canada Games, or even here at RNS, is just the impact that you can make as a role model. And I think it's your job as a coach to be able to show your players that that's what they have as an opportunity. And if they can't see it, then they may not try to aspire to be that. And I think that for me, that's certainly the perspective that I've taken, is just wanting to be a good role model for them, wanting them to show them that they can truly be anything they want if they want to go on and be a successful business person, or a doctor, or a lawyer, or a coach and a teacher, that there's an opportunity to do that, with the skill set that they have. And I think, the more you see, and even it's interesting that you say that, because even with Becky Hammon and, in the Spurs recently happening, it was something that was great to see, the head coach step forward and say, you know what, she didn't get this because she's a female. She earned it. She was the right person for the job. And I struggle at times. I certainly don't think that you should be given things because you're a woman, or you should be given things because you're of a certain group. But I think that if you certainly have the skill set and you have the ability to lead in that capacity, then you certainly should be given the opportunity to do so, and mentored as well. I think that's a huge piece that's missing in coach development in Atlantic Canada in particular, is just the idea of mentorship. And I know Coach New Brunswick a few years ago had an apprentice program where they matched a senior coach with a young female coach, and kind of worked through that process. And I think more programs like that are needed, to be able to give young female coaches the chance to develop the confidence that they need to step forward and apply for those head coaching positions, and apply for different things to take their game to the next level. And even if we could have more coaches from Atlantic Canada immersed in national team programs, and immersed in different programs like that, to learn from the best and then bring it back to our area, I think all of those types of mentorship programs would certainly help not only bring coaching in our area forward, and especially female coaching, but also really help our athletes. And I think it's the athletes ultimately who are going to benefit from having the best coaches. And whether that's a male or female, I think the opportunity to learn from the best coaches in the country or North America or the world. Given the situation, we've seen how much can go online. I think there's an incredible opportunity to bring some new programs forward where we can learn from the best coaches and help bring that back to our athletes and make our sports better in our area.
Make a lot of great points. I really like your thought about it's with Becky Hammon was the best person available, not because she's a woman, not because of the color of her skin, not because of her race or anything. It's just she was the best person available. So yeah, of course we're going to hire her. I think if more people think like that, gender equity is going to start slowly eradicate, but it's just a matter of making sure people are thinking like that.
Yeah. And I think when you do that, you take away she got it because she's a woman. If she's really the most qualified, then nobody's going to question it. And you're going to have that confidence right away from the players, from the fans, the organization. And like you said, it's just going to push it forward a lot faster.
Awesome. Well, listen, Kayla, it's been a pleasure. I know it's early Sunday morning. It's our last day before we go back to work tomorrow. So I appreciate you getting up this morning and having a chat with me. So anyway,
yeah, no, great.
We'll see you at work tomorrow.
Great. Thanks so much.
Cheers.
Bye.
Thanks, Kayla. That was awesome. Like I said, I always love chatting with you. Anything athletics, you're very passionate. You give your heart to everything you do, and it's great. It's great for our school. It's great for the province. It's great for our athletes, our students at our school. So thank you very much. From now, we're jumping, and that's a picture. If you're looking online, that's an aerial view of our campus, Rothesay Netherwood, in beautiful Rothesay, New Brunswick. Beautiful Kennebecasis River in the background. Right now, though, we're going to jump to our friends from Wheelchair Rugby, and they're going to walk us through a game. So enjoy this, because I had a lot of fun learning about the sports, which I thought I knew a little bit about, but I was truly found out that I was wrong. Hopefully you enjoyed as much as I did, because these guys walk you through it and explain the nuances, and it looks like a blast. These guys are having a blast out there. Enjoy. In Canadian Ruck, we welcome back three legends of the game. We have Eric Rodriguez, we have Mike Whitehead, and we have Patrice Pico Desjardins, and they're joining us today to talk and walk through a bit of a game that they played recently, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to get to learn a lot about wheelchair rugby, so that we can show as much support as we can to these guys and their team getting ready for the Paralympic Games in 2021. Pico, take it away there.
Yeah, well, thanks, Jamie. So this game that we're going to watch today is actually the last game we've played right before the COVID lockdowns. It was the Paralympic qualifying game, so we needed to win this game in order to qualify for the Tokyo 2020 Paralympics. So we are facing Colombia in this matchup, and as you can see on the screen, wheelchair rugby is a sport played on the basketball court. There's 4 against 4 on the court, and we play with a ball that's very similar to a volleyball. So now for the tip-off, kind of like basketball, the ref throws the ball in the air, and then the play goes from there.
So in wheelchair rugby, unlike rugby, you can pass the ball anywhere, right?
Exactly, but kind of like basketball, once you're already over half, you have to remain in the front court. If you go back to the back court, you can get a turnover. It'd be a foul.
So Colombia just scores here, right?
Yeah, in order to score a point, you need to have the ball on your lap or in your hands and cross the end line between those 2 cones with the ball. That gives you 1 point. So it's a pretty offensive game. It's pretty fast. You can see scores go up to 50, 60 in international play.
Jeez. So there's Mike, right? Number 8. Who's number 33 that just scored?
Zachy.
So yeah, number 33 is Zach Medell. These are 3.5. So just to talk a bit about the classification system, we're all classed between 0.5 and 3.5, depending on the level of function that we have. And the maximum points we can have on the court is 8 points. Okay. So we have number 33, Zach, who's a 3.5. Mike, number 8 is a 3. We got Trevor Hirschfield at number 10. He's a 1. And Eric, number 41, he's a 0.5. So that totals 8 points on the court.
Gotcha. Is there something to signify to the refs? Okay, it's all right on the back of your wheelchair.
Yeah.
Excellent. So it's a 2-2 game. You're only like a minute in.
Yeah, so it's like I said, it's a pretty fast-paced game. It's when you get a turnover on defense, it's actually a huge deal because, maybe 90% of the time you'll actually score after you inbound the ball.
So
But
what's
especially at the beginning of the games, because teams are kind of like reading each other out, and
Right.
eventually you'll find ways to get turnovers.
right?
So it is pretty offensive game.
So what happens right here? This is kind of neat little, like it's almost like a ruck in rugby, where you guys all kind of smash in together. Right here,
Take it, Eric or Mike.
Mike chips it away.
Yeah, Mike
Yeah,
got a piece
so-
of that ball.
What's that, E?
Oh, you got a piece of it.
Yeah, definitely. So we want to force the ball into their weaker players' hands or the players that have less function. So defensively, we achieved that, which was great.
Yeah.
And then once we achieve that, we make the decision to jump them, to pressure him, make him make decisions, and hit him and turn him. And if he's close to the sideline, we'll hit his butt right out of bounds.
Okay.
And half court. So in wheelchair rugby, there's an over and back rule like basketball.
Yep.
So we had an advantage there. We got a piece of the ball. It just didn't go our way.
This is his third.
Yeah, he's going to score a lot.
So how does the
Yeah.
lineout work? Because it happened very quickly there. Columbia had the ball. And is it just a free throw in, or is it like basketball where you can contend for it?
Like,
So
you
to
mean
start off
after
the
a
play,
score?
you got to
Like when the ball went out of bounds on the side there, when
Oh.
Mike tipped it out.
Yeah, it's a regular inbound, kind of like basketball, where we have 10 seconds to get the ball in. If there's no
And you
touch
can't contest
after
it.
10 seconds, then it's a turnover.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. So 4-3. You're right. High scoring. This is crazy. And there he goes again.
So yeah, so mostly guys with higher function will score most of the goals. They're fat because they have more function. They're faster. They have better hands, so they're better passers. And the low pointers, so the 0.5, the 1s, the 1.5s, who have defensive chairs, like you can see Eric 41 here has a different type of chair.
Yeah.
We're more defensive players, so our job is more to set picks on the court, create some space for the offensive guys to go up the court.
So you can run some interference and things like that.
Yeah, we have a
That was
longer.
great example. Eric made some great plays there defensively to force their fast player to make decisions, turn more, which then in turn made the inbounders' decisions tough because Eric was doing his job and forcing him into Zach.
Yeah.
So yeah, with low pointers, it's not. Yeah, they grind and not always pick up on all the important things that they do, but
All
they
the
make the team.
nuances. Like right here, I'm watching this guy in yellow, number 11, I
Yep.
think. He just runs into a guy. Can you do that? It's almost
You
like
can-
interference.
No, you can hit anyone at any time, anywhere on the court. The only thing you're not allowed to do is hit them behind the axle, which would cause them to spin and pretty much fall over.
Gotcha.
But sometimes you get away with those too.
You can gently.
You can give them a love tap just to let them know you're there.
Okay. So what about right here, Mike? You're fighting for the ball. You kind of get ganged here by 2 or 3 guys.
Yeah.
So what's that? What's going on right there?
Jump ball. So if he freezes the ball, he can get a jump and it'll go to possession arrow. So he makes a great play, expose the ball. He gets his hand in there, strong as heck. Or there can be a penalty there, but that went to jump.
So do you have a certain amount of time that you have to move the ball, or what?
Got to dribble before, so you got to dribble every 10 seconds.
Okay.
And if he freezes the ball for a full second, then that's like a jump, which is similar to basketball.
I got you.
So that one went to a jump arrow.
Yeah, he's got all 5 for you guys, doesn't he?
Most
I think
likely.
he gets a couple. You get one this game?
No, sir.
How come we
Oh,
don't
come
have
on.
him on here right now?
Ooh.
No answers for that, eh? He gets enough of the highlights. All right. So is Columbia like well, it's not the U.S. U.S. is your big rivalry, but what's Columbia like for you guys as a rivalry?
Well, I remember last time, like the first time I ever played against Columbia. That was, I think, it was 2008. So they were just starting back then. So like 12 years ago, and it's amazing how much they've improved since then. They have a pretty good program now in Colombia. They've been competing in big tournaments. They were at the World Championships in Australia back in 2018. So they're actually, starting to make an impact on the international scene. And they're a team that we have to respect. They're quick. They have some good low pointers. So it's definitely not an easy game. Like you can see right now, it's only 1 point difference. Tie game right now. So it's not a game that we took lightly.
Yeah, and considering the resources they have, they've evolved
That's awesome.
immensely in these past few years. Like I remember TO 2015, they played against Brazil for the bronze medal, and nobody had them pegged to beat Brazil, and they just went out and gave them a run for their money and ended up winning their bronze medal at the Toronto Pan Am Games. And like I said, nobody expected that at all. Brazil went in super confident that they were going to win, and they just got their number.
The number 4 for Columbia, he's pretty gritty. He's got a few there now.
Yeah, he's their 3.5.
He's their high pointer. He's at 3.5, kind of same with like Zach.
Yeah.
So he's their most dominant player on the court. He's very shifty, fast, and he's got a good hand. Like you can see earlier when he was able to get a jump off Mike. So he's their big threat.
Gotcha.
And they're a team that brings a lot of energy. I mean, their bench is always screaming. Their coach is always fired up. You can see him on the sideline right now, always being very emotional. So they're if they can get a lead, they bring all that energy with them on the court. They're a tough team to beat.
Yeah. Oh, what's going on here?
So
It looks like an equipment timeout there. He's probably got something wrong with his foot strap, so he's having his equipment manager give him a hand there.
So when that's going on, can you guys quickly congregate and chat? And looks like you're just kind of still shadowing people, but
Yeah, we're trying to do whatever we can to get an advantage defensively during that time. So we're just playing our angles, trying to force people where we don't want them or where they don't want to be, so that we can get the most out of that defensive situation. Because when they're inbounding, it's 4 defenders on 3 offensive players. So we've got a slight advantage for the time that guy is on the sideline inbounding.
ooh, that was a nice move.
yeah, I think we just got our first turnover, so that was great defensive play. And here we got Fabian.
Oh.
Fabian on the court, number 11. He's at 3-point, same as Michael. So he's making his first appearance in this game.
That was
It was
nice.
a good play here by Trevor to snag that ball.
Yeah.
Create the turnover.
So what happened at the end of that? There was a jump ball.
No,
Get out of bounds.
No, Trevor, Zach hit their 2-pointer out of bounds.
Okay.
So if you hit a defensive player out of bounds in the key area, which is between those 2 cones,
Mm-hmm.
then it's a penalty, and that player goes into the penalty box, and you have a man advantage for that 1 minute.
once you score like Fab just did, then the guy can come in.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
So that's similar to hockey.
Yeah. This guy looks too happy.
Because it's early in the game.
Yeah.
So we forced the ball to a low pointer here, and we just saw Zach attack him with a big hit. So
So
another
that's a
turnover here for us.
Nice. So did any of you 3 actually? Do you 3 score in this one?
All of us?
Any of you?
Yeah, well, probably. I don't know.
I'm sure Mike gets a couple.
Yeah.
I know I didn't get any this game. But again, not my function, not my job.
It's not the type of game where you actually like keep track of your scores and stuff.
Exactly. The only score that matters is the one at the end of the game.
Yeah, on the big board.
The 2 defensive
Yeah.
specialists are saying that, right, Mike?
Yeah,
Exactly.
of course.
Exactly. These guys.
And there's no assist in rugby, so
There should be though.
sucks for us.
Starting to pick up here. 9-7 now. 3 minutes left. Oh,
And in rugby, because we have impairment in their hands, we try to make the players pass the ball as much as possible.
yeah.
So that's why we just saw 3 of us corral this number 4 player.
Yeah.
So he had to get rid of the ball, and eventually we were able to create I think it was a timeout. But the more you can make the guys pass, the higher the chance you get a turnover out of it.
Right. Yeah, you guys converge defensively very quick on some of those aspects, right? It's well-oiled machine. You guys, that defensive pressure is wicked.
Yeah, we definitely practice these plays, and chair position is very important in this sport.
Yeah.
How do you take your angles when you're defending? And you can see, Trevor here, number 10, just shadowing this player, forcing him to his help that is coming here,
Oh.
boom, with a big hit. So
That's nice.
there's a lot of teamwork. It's all teamwork in this sport.
I thought he was going down there. Zach had a good lineup on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zach is a big hitter. Sometimes we feel like he can even do more. He can even crush guys, but
He's got some pretty big arms.
Oh yeah, he's strong. So he called it Quimmin here because his wheel was over
Yeah.
the bumper of Trevor's chair, number 10. So
Yeah.
Which is a bailout. They got lucky there.
Yeah.
So in
Mike-
rugby, there's also what we call key offense and key defense. Is when the defensive team sets up in the key, tries to defend.
Yeah.
And the offensive team has to find a way to get the ball over the goal line, like they just did right there.
So she just called that off. He didn't bounce it after 10 seconds. I'm
No,
assuming?
or I think he hit. Did he hit the cone, guys? I think he might have hit the cone.
Yeah.
So
You
when
can't
you
hit the
score,
cone?
you hit the cone before both your wheels cross the line. It's a penalty. It's not a goal. I think that's what happened.
Geez, that's a tight
Yeah.
call.
Yeah. That sequence, were you grabbing his wheel? Because it looked like I thought I saw some funny business.
No. I'm not as physically gifted to be able to grab wheels,
I
unfortunately.
don't know.
If
I
I grab a
saw
wheel,
some elbows.
I
I feel like
think it
my
was an
arm-
elbow. I think it was
my
an
arm would
elbow.
probably fall off. There may be an elbow, but not a wheel grab.
Is wheel grab a penalty?
If the refs
heard it.
only if the ref
If you get
sees it.
caught. Right.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
None of you guys would do that, right?
Oh. Well,
Ooh, that was good defense right there.
He scored.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, you had to make a really good play.
he's gonna do that.
One out of 20.
Exactly.
10-8.
So in rugby, we have 4 quarters of 8 minutes
Okay.
stop time. So a game usually lasts about an hour 20 and maybe an hour and a half if it's a slow game.
So is it almost better sometimes to carry the ball instead of trying to find the open man?
If
Like-
you have the space, yes. As long as you dribble within 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to be passing for no reason, but it all depends on the teams and what their strengths are too.
Gotcha.
In Canada, we have a pretty strong passing team, so we don't mind sharing the ball if we have to. We have one of the strongest passers here on the call, Mike Whitehead, known for his ball control skills.
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
Um,
Thanks. Pump the tires up.
Exactly.
I thought E almost had him out of bounds over there. And then after, did you not like the call there, E, or what was it?
I wasn't really happy with that call, but okay, I'll give it to him. I'm sure the ref
Yeah.
had a better vantage point than I did.
Maloney, you were making faces.
Oh, what are you talking about, Mike? I don't do that.
Oh, there we go. Oh,
Cinerama.
Rewind that.
That was awesome.
Oh, my gosh.
Zach, put
How
him
many
in the
times did he
psycho.
go around?
look how fast he's going. One, and he just kind of sits there and goes, yeah, I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to try and stop this.
Yeah.
There's no point.
No.
It's like a top.
Yeah. It's getting a little intense out there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Three on oh.
Usually when we're about to score, we look to transition so we can find an advantage on defense for the next play.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why he just didn't roll right in.
Yeah, and at the end of quarters, we try to score around 55 or 52 seconds left because in rugby, there's a 40-second shot clock,
Okay.
right? So if we score about 52 and we defend, we're trying to force them to score if they do score under 40 so we can score the last goal before the quarter ends. So it's all about clock management at this point.
So it's like the 2-minute rule in football or something like that. Where,
Yeah, very similar.
Gotcha. So there's a lot of
So here we play defense, and then eventually they get a goal, but there's 35 seconds left, so
it's all your clock.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow. lot of strategy.
Yeah.
Especially in close games, those 1 or 2 goal difference. I mean, it's important to get that last goal if possible.
So at the end of this quarter, whose ball is it? Is it based off who scored last, or?
It all depends on the possession arrow.
Okay.
I believe, who won the tip-off? Did we?
They did. There was a jump on me, so
Yeah.
they're gonna start with the ball in the second quarter.
So because they won the tip, they had the possession arrow. We had the possession arrow to start. There was a jump ball, so we inbounded the ball. So the possession arrow changed. So now they have it.
Okay.
It's a little complicated, but it's kind of like I think it's similar to college basketball. But
So he's going to try and delay here until the time's out.
yeah,
So is it like when the 3.1 seconds is up, the game's over, or do you play out until there's a whistle?
So you run the clock out, so that's the end of the first quarter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to skip ahead to the fourth quarter or what?
sure.
All right.
We can trying to find out what's going to happen. It's been a
Well,
while. It's been almost a year, guys.
Don't say that.
Whew.
Are we missing any good plays by Eric or anything by skipping ahead here? Or?
Probably not.
It's little details. Low pointers. It's yeah. When you start to learn the game and actually watch and figure it out, they make all the difference. All the difference.
Well, I'm learning so much just from watching and listening. Oh, there we
I
go.
just saw a ball pickup from Eric.
Yeah.
I just saw an amazing play from Eric.
Did
I
you
think it was that. These are the
I
halftime
picked it
highlights
up
right
and
here.
gave it to Zach.
Oh!
And then it rolled into the guy with the beer.
Yeah. Hey, man. I picked it up. I got a beer. There we go.
Yeah, these are halftime highlights, I guess.
Yeah.
A little too far. There was about
Fourth quarter
7:47
right here.
left.
So we're up by 6 at the beginning of the fourth. So at
Oh,
this
there goes
point-
Mikey.
Mike scores.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
No celebration or anything.
Work to do, boys. Work to do.
Don't worry. He's celebrating on the inside.
So in wheelchair rugby, both teams get 4 timeouts that he can use on the court to get out of trouble. So if they can't cross the half within 12 seconds, they can use a timeout. If they
Mike
can't
scores
score a
again.
goal within 40 seconds, they can use a timeout. And it looks like on the board here that both teams use all 4 of the timeouts. So there's none left.
I think you might have missed it. So on my screen, I've got the game and I see everybody as a video, and I think you guys only see the video, right, of the game. Mike just put his 2 fingers up there because he scored the second goal. So I was kind of laughing at that.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. What happened here? Was Zachy there? He gets flipped, I think.
Did you see it, E?
Coming up
Yeah.
right
He
here.
just gets clipped.
Oh, okay.
But the player had the ball, so he didn't get a penalty for it.
So if you have the ball, you get away with a little bit more.
Yes, usually.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time I've seen an offensive spin.
Never heard of it.
Ah. Mike and Travis.
What's that little mat they put down? Just a gripper?
It's just to protect the floor from gouging. Our chairs have some sharp edges, and we don't want to ruin the floors any more than we already do.
We've already been kicked out of enough places.
Yeah.
Exactly. We haven't been kicked out. We've been invited to not return.
The original ghosting. Oh, gymnasium. We have pickleball. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, cute little one sleeping.
Yeah, that's Sawyer Byron's son.
Yeah.
Sawyer Lands.
So what do you guys? It looks like some of you have elbow pads on. That's about it for protection, eh?
Yeah, there isn't much gloves, and they're not even elbow pads. They're more like shooter sleeves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Basketball is just to protect our skin because sometimes they rub on the wheel, so it's just to prevent some bad scratches.
Gotcha. An 8-point lead with 7 minutes to go. Columbia's on their way back down. Oh, nice defensive play there. Oh,
So Zach stole the ball, but was trying to get rid of it before he crossed out of bounds. So
okay.
Yeah, we're out of timeouts. So
Right.
if he had a timeout, he would have called it.
So you have like, is it 1 a quarter or just 4 in total for the game?
4 total.
4 in total.
Can use him whenever.
And is this like a 30-second thing or?
Yeah. So here, Trevor tried for a score, but he got hit and he hit the cone, so goal got disallowed.
Number 4
Yeah.
waved that off pretty quickly there, didn't he?
First-hand account.
I was there. I saw it.
So here they're in trouble. They're gonna try to get the ball in. Oof.
That was close.
Yeah,
That was a nice catch.
that arm's pretty long.
Yeah.
So great defense here, forcing a lot of pressure,
Oh,
Whew.
and I believe we get the turnover.
Yeah.
Turnover.
so if that had bounced off 10's chair, would it have been Columbia's ball instead?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And that's why he ran him, so he couldn't get to the ball to keep it in play.
Yeah.
It's a little dirty, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, some teams.
I wouldn't call it dirty. I would call it smart.
Strategic.
Exactly.
Mike, do you get the hat trick in this game or what?
Oh, I do it.
Oh, right here, right here.
Oh,
Oh, and he
Here we
backs
go.
in
and
too.
he
Look at
backs
that.
it in.
That's cocky. I like it. The little moonwalk on the way in there.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Time for a sub.
Who flipped him?
He might have flipped himself.
We'll see it here. Oh, maybe not.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, backs in.
It's very top heavy.
I like this, Mike. He could have spun around and went in forward. He's like, nah, I'm going to go backwards here. That was a nice little cut by number 4.
Yeah.
That's a nice pass, too.
Great passer.
Sorry, I know it's the wrong team, but, you know.
Oh.
He was
Give
a
credit
soccer
where credit is
superstar,
due.
wasn't he? Hey, Pico.
Huh?
Was he a soccer player before? Wasn't he pretty good?
Which one? Sorry.
4?
Roscoe?
Yeah. Roscoe.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
He might have been.
I thought he was a superstar.
D2, I think, in Colombia. It's pretty
D2?
good. It's pretty good though.
Minor contract. He had a minor league contract.
Oh
Got
my
hurt.
goodness. Scored on the wrong net.
We've all been there.
Yes. Yeah.
Not in Colombia.
Oh yeah.
So let me ask you guys something.
Oh.
When I see somebody's got like a breakaway or partial breakaway, and somebody's pressuring, giving some back pressure, but then that person kind of stops. Is that a defensive strategy to get ready for the next inbound play because they know they're not going to catch them? Like there's been times I thought, well, he could have hit him into the pylon if they had kept going. But is it more of a team strategy? Well, no, let them score. That way we can get set up to make our attack again. What's that about?
Yeah, that's exactly it. We're getting into transition for our next play.
Okay.
We know that goal is inevitable. So we got to get into position so we can set up our offense or our defense.
Because it moves so quickly.
Like a lot of different sports, you want to have space on offense. You don't all want to be bunched up together or close to the baseline or the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a chance if you keep pushing to the end that you'll get transition and get stuck low, which doesn't give you much of an advantage when you try to get the ball in after.
That 11 keeps calling equipment here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Yeah, depending on the chairs and the condition of the chairs, there can be a lot of equipment calls, flat tires, axles popping out. So when you make the call for an equipment, you have a minute to fix the problem, and if you can get it done under a minute, then you have to sub off.
Gotcha. So what are the
But
subs
you're
like?
allowed to have as many equipments as you want, basically. There's no
Just
limit.
extra timeouts, right?
Oh, a nice hit here.
So what are the substitutions like? How do they happen?
Whenever
So,
there's a stoppage in play.
Any
Go ahead, Eric.
stoppage?
Oh, when I was just saying, whenever there's a stoppage in play. So if there's a, I think the only time you can't substitute is when there's an equipment call. Other than that, if there's a stoppage in play, you can call for a substitution.
And is it unlimited too? Like you can come in and off, on and off as much as you want?
Yes.
So what's the normal, is there a normal procedure? Like do some guys not get on the court much, or is it, everybody gets on a fair share?
Yeah, it depends on the depth of your team and some of the strategies too. But for us, we have a pretty deep team, so most of the guys I think get on the court in the games that we play.
That was a nice
Yeah,
play by Mike.
it can be different, but usually we play I would say about 4-minute shifts before we sub off. But it could be longer and it could be shorter. Sometimes teams have lineups for the end of the quarter because they bring in more size and more passing abilities. So it depends on the coach's decisions, but
Strategy again.
yeah, exactly.
Okay. So we got about 4 minutes left. You're up by 8. Are you feeling comfortable like this is a big enough lead, or is this like a tense moment right now?
Mike, how you feeling, Mike?
Just try not to, just focus on the process. 8's pretty solid. We're in control here, 4 minutes left. So I'm feeling confident for sure. But this game in particular, they were not going anywhere. So I remember in this game, I was like, we just got to keep working hard because they are fighting every inch of the way.
Yeah, I'm gathering that too. Like they're not quitting. They keep coming hard.
Sometimes teams will sub off their main guys when they're down by 8, but still that's their starting lineup out there, and they're still trying to get back in this game.
Yeah, down by 7. They're trying to chip away, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
You win, you go to the Paralympics.
Yeah, a lot on the line here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See here how Zach used Trevor.
Yeah.
Just to beat that guy, get up the court. That was
Bit of
really
a
nice.
screen.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's exactly it.
Got to come out to one of our games there, Jamie.
If I ever make it back to Ontario, definitely will.
Yeah.
I asked Mike if I came to a training and they strapped me in, how would he treat me? And he said, I'd watch you for a couple minutes, and if you seem like you could hold your own, he said, I'd be running you like crazy. I got a little scared there, but
No mercy.
yeah.
Don't
no
worry.
mercy.
The chair takes the brunt of it.
Where in New Brunswick are you?
Just outside St. John, so a little town called Rossay.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's wheelchair rugby in New Brunswick.
Yeah.
Some in Moncton, some in Fred.
Yeah.
I think they're one of the only provinces now that have a club running because of all the COVID restrictions and everything. I know they have a club practicing in New Brunswick.
Yeah,
I'm not sure where it is. It might be closer to Moncton.
Okay. We only have, I think, 50 active cases right now in the province. And in the St. John area, like our zone, we only have 3. So we're doing, knock on wood, we're
Mhm.
doing okay. So we've had some pretty strict measures in place since it started. And
Yeah.
I think it just depends on what your government and the health officials are advising everybody to do, right? So,
Exactly.
and then I guess if people are going to follow those rules.
I was just going to say that, whether or not everybody else is paying attention to the rules and following them.
That's it. All right, so just under 3 minutes left, back up by 8, 50-42. 51-42.
Yeah, just focus on executing and continuing to do what we've been doing all game.
Yeah. Oh, that was
Ooh,
good.
there
Is
with
that
the big
Eric?
hit.
Timing. Hold on. Ah,
Hey, man, I held him as long as I could.
that goes so strong, man.
Oh, I almost got him there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that 4. He's a dandy player, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
That's a nice little cut on you, or Pico. Is that you, Pico?
No, it wasn't me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was
It was
Trevor. He's
pretty-
also
You're pretty quick to say it wasn't you there, weren't you?
Same classification as Trevor.
yeah.
Okay.
We have the same class.
The two best one-pointers in the world, hands down.
That's
Amen.
nice.
Call it like you see it, Pico.
Thanks, Eric. Feel better now.
Ah,
Mike, you're uncharacteristic. Oh, that's a hard word. You're quiet today, and that doesn't seem like you.
I know. Yeah, imagine that. I was driving yesterday for quite a while. Went and saw some family over the holidays, so pretty tired. And then I trained this morning, which was good. But once I got home, I just ate and then got on here, and I'm like, ooh,
Nap time.
take a nap.
Well, there's only a couple minutes left in the game there, so
Yeah.
Yeah, up by 9. Now we feel pretty good, and we're like, okay, I think we
Yeah.
can book our ticket to Tokyo at this point.
yeah.
We're thinking about karaoke back in the locker room after now, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
and what
Yeah,
did you
sorry.
say?
Oh, we
Tony,
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Tony Laturo, a fine young player, French Canadian. He sang what's the name of that song?
Well, the first one he sang was
Did he
TikTok
do
by Keisha.
Call Me Maybe?
Yeah. All the good pop songs.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Did you?
So,
did any of you three sing?
Um,
Willie P is a singer.
Oh, yeah, he is.
sometimes.
He went to
He's
Germany.
a,
Thought
he's
he
a
was,
DJ and a singer.
Yeah, in Germany he was Bieber.
I prefer just to be the team's DJ. But I can sing sometimes just
What's your favorite song, Pico?
when Eric's asking me because he likes it.
What's your
Oh,
favorite
I
song,
love
Pico?
hearing Pico.
What was that?
What's your favorite song?
Oh boy. Favorite song. I'm really into country right now, so
Okay.
I don't know if you're into country, Jamie, but like Luke Combs,
That's-
Morgan
yep.
Wallen.
All right, let's hear a little
Oh boy.
"Love Me
You're
More
up,
Than My
boy. You're putting
Hometown."
up
Let's hear it.
spot here.
More Than My Hometown. Let's hear a little bit of that.
I'm not really good at. You know why I'm good at karaoke, Jamie? Because I have the words in front of me.
I can put some on the screen.
Oh, yeah. I
There
like
you
this. I
go.
like where we're going.
If we lose this game,
If we lose
Hey,
this,
hey, Jamie, he's also the best rapper on the team, hands down.
maybe we can bring up some Eminem lyrics too, or something there.
Nelly, get him on some Nelly.
Get him some
Nelly.
Nelly.
Oh,
oh guys.
I wish you guys had told me that before I had him on the pod, there, guys.
Yeah, no kidding. We should have set him up good. That would have been hilarious.
That's one of the unspoken rules of the podcast. If your favorite tradition is like when you sing your song, like after your first cap or something like that, I get them to actually sing a part of the song on the podcast.
Oh, cool.
And well, it is until they actually sing, as most rugby players aren't good singers.
Ah,
Pat Parfrey from Newfoundland, he sang Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme song. That was pretty good.
Oh,
goodness.
That must have been great.
It was pretty funny. Good Newfie boy, right? Yeah, he knows his
Yeah.
stuff. Under a minute to go, 56-45. You guys must be feeling pretty excited right now.
Yeah.
Excited and tired.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a great feeling knowing that you're going to the Paralympics, and we have a few guys on the team that are going for their first times, right? So I remember my first time when we qualified. It's a special moment knowing that you're going to go and compete against the best in the world. So I'm sure Eric, it was going to be your first time competing. I'm sure you were pretty ecstatic out there.
I was excited that we were booking our ticket, and yeah, like my biggest competition to date was the Pan Am Games, and you guys pretty much told me, yeah, this is big, but wait till the Paralympics, you'll see the difference. So I'm just kind of holding my breath, waiting to see what that's going to be like.
A little different this year, unfortunately, but
Yeah.
I'm sure it will still be a pretty cool event.
Oh, I'm sure Japan's going to put on a great show.
So you guys said this was the last game before the lockdown. At this time, you still thought that you would be going to Japan and in the fall of 2020, right? What happened there?
Look who has the ball for the last
There we go.
Last second.
What a
Eric
minute.
Rodriguez.
Look at E.
Look at that
Get
catch.
over here.
You got it,
Get
Chris.
over here.
Too easy.
Look at him. He's like, I got it. We got this.
Game over. I'm dead.
You look tired, Eric.
I was gassed. It was a rough week before that. I was sick. So it took a lot out of me that game.
So yeah, to answer your question, Jamie, there's at this point, you know, COVID was a thing, but we weren't taking it very seriously, I guess, in Canada. So we thought for sure we'd be going to Tokyo in the summer, but things changed pretty quickly after.
I love your coach's jackets there. The plaid.
Oh, the plaid shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so you
Real
guys.
Canadian.
Yes, absolutely. You guys go out, shake hands now, and
Yeah, shake hands, and then usually have our cheers after the game, and eventually, I think we had the medal ceremonies and the award ceremonies.
nice.
Oh, this is the drop in the hammer part.
Wonder if there's
As they will clearly appreciate their fan support, appreciate the week here at the Olympic Oval, and what a great feeling it is indeed to know that you are for sure now heading to the Paralympic Games in Tokyo.
Good job, Tim, and thanks everybody for listening. It's been a pleasure commentating this week, and I hope you've enjoyed the games.
Well, we've had a lot of fun here, Frosty, and don't go away, folks, on sportscanada.tv. Murderball.tv. We will also bring you the medal ceremony and some of the awards. Hopefully, I believe Canadian Paralympic Committee will be carrying those on their Paralympic Super Series with Benoit Huot and CBCSports.ca, perhaps.
that was pretty cool. That was pretty good.
Yeah, it feels good to accomplish something like that as a team, and with everyone together and with the staff there too. It's one of the best moments as an athlete.
Definitely.
You guys want to watch this? Is this the medal ceremony?
It's a long ceremony.
Oh, okay.
It was a very long ceremony.
You guys just want to go back and crack some beers, eh?
Yeah. At this point, we just want to go back to the locker room and
Use the washroom.
put the music on. Yeah.
Put the music on.
Use the washroom.
I was dying to go to the bathroom.
That's awesome.
No, it's not.
Hey, just be honest.
So, little known fact, you guys might know this, but the '87 World Canada Cup, and it was Game 2. Gretzky and Lemieux were dominating. It was the game that went into overtime, and I think it was like second overtime or something. And Gretzky really had to go to the bathroom. He just peed himself on the bench because I can't leave. I'm just gassed. And he went out and kept playing, and they won.
Awesome.
Hey, man.
I didn't know that.
By any means necessary.
That's right. Anyway, thank you much, guys. That was a lot of fun. Like, getting a chance to watch it, hear some nuances, and there's so much strategy. I didn't understand how much strategy was actually involved, and it's I guess a very cerebral game, and with a lot of collisions, and there's some pretty nice smashes out there for sure. Like it's a rugged sport. And what is it? Do you still do people still call it murder ball, or is that kind of faded out now and it's just wheelchair rugby, or is it still a combination of both?
The old school guys, they prefer murder ball. The guys that started playing in the 80s and 90s, they prefer murder ball. That's the proper name for the sport, I guess. But it's known for a lot of people like say, "Oh, I play wheelchair rugby. I don't know what that is." Oh, murder ball. Yeah, okay, because they've seen the movie or they've heard of murder ball. So both names I think are still sticking around.
Okay. So any last thoughts? Like if I know it's COVID right now, but is there ways for people to watch games, like stream it online, or like are you guys able to play? I know that you're practicing a little bit, but is there anything happening that people can watch and get involved somehow?
YouTube.
YouTube?
Yeah,
quiet.
there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube. I know the I think Korean League is still on. I've seen them pop some videos live on YouTube once in a while, but not the highest quality, but they're still going.
Okay.
I know things over there are still running.
So if people want to watch Team Canada play, just jump on YouTube and look up Wheelchair Rugby Canada, and
Most
then
definitely.
subscribe and follow along and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Excellent.
And as far as live events, I mean, we don't know yet what's coming in the next few months, but hopefully Tokyo 2021 or 2020 will happen in August, and I believe all those games will be live stream on the web. So that'll be a good opportunity for people to follow us in our journey to win a medal.
Absolutely. Well, we wish you nothing but the best. I said it before, but you guys are great athletes, and I'm stoked to watch the. Hopefully everything goes through, but I'm stoked to watch those Paralympic Games and watch you guys come back with hopefully gold around your neck. But whatever happens, we'll be supporting you guys. So, Eric, thanks very much. Mike, go have a nap, and Pico, it was a pleasure. Thanks very much, guys. Really appreciate it. Take care.
Yeah, thanks for the support.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. So thanks very much. Massive thanks to Patrice, Eric, and Mike for breaking down that match. What a great time. And again, I want to wish you guys the best of luck prepping for the 2021 Paralympics. Hopefully you've gained some more followers and some more fans of your sport, and for all you guys do, because that was a great time. And I'm very stoked to be watching those 2021 Paralympics and seeing you guys in action, hopefully bringing home gold. But whatever you guys do, we're supporting you guys all 100%. Again, want to say thanks to Kayla for walking us through her role at Ross St. Netherwood and all that you bring to athletics. Kayla, it was a pleasure to chat with you, and I'm glad that we were able to find a time for you to jump on with us. Got a few big names coming up next. We've got Cindy Nellis. We got Kyle Bailey. We got Derek Daypuck. Had a chat with him the other day. Man, what a funny guy. Maria Gallo is coming. Dr. Maria Gallo. She's coming on soon. Evan Olmstead is joining us. Nick Blevins. I finally was able to track down Nick. He's jumping on. And we're going to do a joint pod with Leslie McKenzie and Kelly McCollum. Leslie's coach. She coaches Team Japan's national women's team, and Kelly's working, I think, on her PhD down in New Zealand. I could be wrong. So as always, thank you, listeners. Let's keep spreading that good rugby word. Pass these things around. Share these pods. Many people that listen to them, the more that listen to them, the better. Just kind of let's give a voice to our rugby athletes here in Canada. 2021 is on the roll. Let's put a positive spin out there. Let's go for hope, but let's dig in deep and make sure that 2021 turns out to be a great year. As always, got to say thanks to my son Rylan for supplying us with our intro and outro tunes. He's 12 years old, and he asked if he could design some music for the podcast, and I said sure. And that's what your intro and outro music is, designed by my 12-year-old on his computer. I thought it was pretty cool. As always, feel free to request topics for future podcasts, whether it's questions, whether it's guests. I do my best. I've had probably about 30% of the guests have been requests. And once I track them down, more often than not, they say yes. I've only had a couple people turn me down, and most everybody is very happy to jump on and chat rugby, which is great because I love to do that. And lastly, this is Jamie. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay sane. Most importantly, keep on rucking.